Hi, my magical creatures, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is I am going to talk about what's it like being transgender in California. Um, yeah, so before we begin, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, a like, comment, share, subscribe. So let's get started. My cat then jumped on my lap, so he's just, all over the place. Say hi to the camera, Dance. Say hi. Say hi. He's so cute. Also, too, a special announcement. I went ahead and opened up a PO box. So, if you guys want to send me something, definitely you can send it in my PO box. I'll put it down in the description below. Also, too, if you guys do send me stuff, I will unbox it and then in the video and then show y'all the stuff that y'all send. So anything you send me, I will do a video on it and unbox it. So yeah. Okay. So what's it like being transgender in California? So I want to talk about like kind of like the safety level in California. I've never lived in another state where I was transgender or transitioning while, just being myself, openly be myself. Here in California, it's very liberal here. People honestly do not care. There are some people that there's always going to be that bully or that one person that don't agree with, your lifestyle or whatever. Um every Probably rarely, very every once in a while I would deal with someone that, was rude, but they never put their hands on me or nothing. But they'll probably say some mess under their breath or look at you weird or, or try to ignore you when you say something to them. So that's probably like the only thing that I've experienced. Have never experienced a man putting hands on me or anything like that because they didn't like the fact that I was trans. Um, so that's kind of like been the safety thing too. Like I noticed too, like women, as far as like women, I've had women they'll just smile in my face and then they're talking crap. But I mean, I feel like that's everybody. But that's like the worst that's happened. I've never been attacked for being trans. I was threatened one time. One guy did threaten to punch me in my face because I was trans. But I mean, I did go on a date with him and not tell him I was transgender, but he never did it. So, um, but that's why when I be hearing these girls like getting like KILLED, it just kind of like makes me scared. But here in California, my experience, I have not been physically attacked. So I can say that women too, if anything, there are some women too that won't agree with it. But I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I'm just me. So also too, you will have people kind of stare at you too. Like I've had that happen to me multiple times. But I mean, it is what it is. Usually sometimes they're staring at you because you remind them of somebody. Because for a long time, I really thought people were staring at me like they were trying to judge me or give me a problem. But a lot of the times it's like you usually remind them of someone that may be going through the same thing that you're going through, or they're just admiring you, or they're just curious. They're like, wow, that person looks really unique. I like how that person's hair is, their clothes, stuff like that. So when people stare at you, like, don't take it personal. Just, take it as like, oh, there's probably something about, I'll probably remind them of somebody or something positive, Don't always go to the negative. Like, oh my God, they're judging me. They know, I'm trans. Run, hide. Don't do that. Okay. So let's talk about the jail system too. So the jail system here in California. So I had a friend that was, that is transgender. She was pre-op and post-op when she went to jail. So when she went in, she told me that, so this was when she was pre-op. She went in, I ain't gonna tell all her business out, but she went in and basically they, her driver's license did say female on it. So, I mean, so they booked her in with, I don't want to say I don't think she got booked in. I just think she was put in the drunk tank or whatever. But she did have a female cellie inside the drunk tank with her. So, and this was when she was pre-op. So, but they did take out her belly piercing. They took out, she had on like stockings too under her ripped jeans, and then they took those off of her. So I'm pretty sure, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, so but they did book her in with the females and stuff like that. So, but then the second time she went to jail, she was post-op, and she basically, I want to say what happened. She was put in a cell by herself, but I think it was because of the COVID pandemic, because this was like after the pandemic. She was put in a single cell. So, but then when she got out, when they did her fingerprints and stuff, she looked around and saw other people in single cells too. So, um, yeah. But yeah, so I guess here in California, I don't know, like if in booking, if you have a penis and like, let's say your ID is female, I don't know if they will put you, like if you're actually put in jail or in the prison system. Um, I don't know, but like with her, she was just put in the drunk tank 2 times. So yeah. Um, So the health, so I know, but I know in San Francisco though, like if you do go to prison, I think in San Francisco, like even it doesn't even matter if you're, if you didn't even start HRT, like if you identify as a woman, they will put you in with the women. So that's what I heard about the San Francisco jail system there. Um, Healthcare system. So for me, I've heard from other girls from all over the United States that their healthcare system will only cover only so much. Certain surgeries they would not cover if you're trans. But here in California, my experience, I was able to, and I have Kaiser, so I don't know if that makes a difference. But I also had a girlfriend too, another girl that was trans. She had, I think, Medicare, Medi-Cal. I think that's what she had, but they did cover her FFS and her SRS. I don't know if they covered her breast augmentation. I don't remember, but I know Dr. Marcy Bowers, she's a really known surgeon that does the SRS. She was gonna do the surgery for my friend at the time. I'm not friends with that girl no more, but at the time my ex-friend. So but I know for like Kaiser, for that, I know they covered my SRS, my breast augmentation, and my FFS. And I think they do laser hair removal too, electrolysis and laser hair removal. Kaiser did cover that my electrolysis for when around my pubic area, so they can get me ready for my SRS surgery, because you do have to do 6 months to like a year of electrolysis down there, so they get all the hairs and stuff. Um, but what else? After that, I want to say, but yeah, the health system, I would say it's a lot better than, I feel like California is the most liberal state out of the United States. So I feel like if you are trans, gay, whatever, I feel like people are definitely more democratic and more open down here. Um, you know, that's why I'm kind of scared to go to other southern states, because I'm originally from Georgia, but I moved out of there when I was 12. So, and then I stayed here in California. But I mean, there are small towns. I will say this about California is that any small town, there's going to be some ignorant people there. I grew up in a small town, and me being trans, I had people love me, and I've had people not like me because I was different. And that's just reality. That is just how life is here right now, as of right now. So, yeah, but I feel like if I were to transition out a really big state, like a bigger city, like somewhere like Sacramento, San Francisco, especially San Francisco, even maybe LA, I think people really, they mind their business. Like even in San Francisco, I see all types of people. Like I've seen, like I'm like, is that a man or a woman? Or they're just like you can't even tell what they are, if they are male or woman, and the way they dress is very like different, creative. You don't really see people getting like bullied or anything like that. But definitely in small towns, people are definitely more curious. People are definitely going to talk. You know, it's just is what it is. But in San Francisco, I felt more safe in San Francisco, if that made more sense, because I felt like people could really care less about me if I was a man in a dress walking down the street. You know, just because I guess in San Francisco, it's expected. You know, Sacramento too. Sacramento, it's people mind their business, but I feel like they got some rough areas in Sac, so I would be really careful. But San Francisco though, like people really mind their business. It's, whatever. Um, so if you are thinking about transitioning or something, do it. I would do it in a bigger city, like in a very big city. People mind their business and stuff. Dancer, what? Oh, he keep like walking around me and stuff. Okay, so but yeah, the healthcare system, they did cover a lot. So how people treated me, I'm gonna be real with y'all. There were people that were so nice to me. I even had people came up to me and was like, wow, like I have a friend that's going through the same thing or a family member going through the same thing. And I just want to let you know you're super brave and you definitely inspire me. And these are like cis women telling me this. I've had guys too, like, um, I've had guys tell me, what did they tell me? I've had guys tell me things like, I think it's cool that you're being yourself. And like, they'll respect me, but they're not as emotional. Like, they won't explain stuff, but like, they'll definitely say things like, they will start calling me by my right pronoun and this was back when I was still like a diamond in the rough, you know? Um, So yeah, like they'll start using the right pronoun, or they'll just say things like, "Yeah, that's who you are, so I respect that," so like that, and it'll just be it's just very straightforward to the point. Women, they tend to just over explain and exaggerate and just go, "Oh my god," very emotional. So, but yeah, that's how people treated me. And then there was people that would ignore me. There was people that just could give careless. People, give me dirty looks and stuff like that. But yeah, they ain't put their hands on me though, so I know that. Um, so the next one is small towns. Okay, yeah, I already talked about that. The next one I want to say is like the bathroom situation. So for me, all I'm gonna say is if you look very feminine, go in the women's bathroom, and if you look very masculine, then go in the male's bathroom. For me, I always wore like these wedge sneakers, and I did my makeup. And even though I was flat chested, I did look kind of like a guy or whatever. Um, I still went in the women's bathroom. The worst thing that's probably ever happened to me in the girls' bathroom was like they would just kind of stare at me. Like I would get weird stares and I would just ignore them and not say anything to them. But honestly, I never went in the bathroom. I never went to really talk to anybody. All I did was go in the bathroom, pee, wash my hands, and get out. That's all it was. I did not make eye contact with nobody. I mean, there was some women in there that would be like, "Oh, hey," stuff like that. But it was never, I will respond back. Or if they look at me weird, I've never had a girl really say nothing to me. Um, but if I were you, once you start your HRT, or if you can just get it changed, if you're going to transition, get your ID, like your license, your ID changed to female immediately. Because I did hear a story where a girl did, she did look like a, diamond in the rough. And she basically went into the girls' bathroom, but I think it was in a southern state too. And like a lot of these women were like, oh, she cannot be in here. So the security, I think it was either a police officer or a security guard got involved. And so he basically told her that because your ID says male, legally you cannot be in the women's bathroom. So yeah, it really sucked. But so if you are planning on transitioning, or if you're already wearing, get your ID changed. And if you prefer going into the women's bathroom, get your ID changed to female. It is really not that hard. Well, here in California, it is not that hard. All you do is fill out a form, and then you take it to your doctor's office, and then they put their badge number, and then they put like, yes, she is changing her gender, whatever. And then you take that form and then you mail it, or you take it to the DMV. You take it to the DMV, and then it takes like a week or two, and then you get your ID, and the gender is changed. And so that's what I remember. I did that years ago, but that's what I remember. Um, yeah. So as far as the bathroom situation goes, I didn't really face anything crazy. Now, if you are a female transitioning into a male, you probably will. Men tend to be more aggressive in the bathrooms and stuff. Like they're just aggressive, period. So I don't really know much to say about that. But as a woman or a male transitioning to a woman, women are more. They're more understanding. Stuff like that. So that was kind of my experience in the bathroom situation. Um, college and high school, like again, for me in California, high school was okay, or no, it was not okay actually. I hated high school. Like again, I was very different. I was very feminine. I didn't start transitioning until I graduated high school. So, but all throughout middle school and high school, I was with the same group of people. I did not change schools. So a lot of them, I was very feminine. I was very different. A lot about me. Some people like they hid who they were. With me, I was just really myself. I was very feminine, you know, stuff like that. The way I walk, talk, the way I expressed myself. I was just me. And unfortunately, that, you know, I was bullied a lot in high school. I've had people say crazy stuff to me. I've had people try to mess with me. So maybe those could be story times for another day. But um, what was I gonna say? But yeah, I really hated high school. But where I went to middle school and high school, it was a very small town, you guys. Like I'm saying, everybody knew everyone. Everyone knew their parents. People's parents owned different pubs. Different like one of them was like a police chief here in the small town. The other one was like the head firefighter guy. So you know, I just feel like it was definitely a small town. And a lot of these people too, like their parents that owned a lot of these different parts of the town. A lot of these parents ended up, they all went to like, their parents even went to school with each other. And then they all clicked up and were friends. And so now that they all have their kids really know each other, you know? So it was just kind of, with me, I moved there when I was 12. I don't really know anyone. I don't even know no one's parents like that. So my grandmother, though, she did know one of the popular boys' mom, because her mom did hair inside her, you know, house. And so my grandmother would go get her hair done, and I would see that boy, and you know, I hung out with him a few times, but you know, he just wasn't feeling me, and I kind of had my own friends, so it is what it is. But he was a complete dick to me, all throughout high school, and then try to play like be like trying to be all nicey nice, but really he trying to be funny, you know. So I absolutely hated high school. If you are LGBT or whatever, try to go to like a bigger city and do that, because I think it would be better. Like Elena Genevieve, I know when she transitioned in high school, she was going to school in LA. So I mean her school was huge, way bigger than my high school. So I think for her, she never really talked about being bullied or anything, but I really think people mind their own business, because I heard she went to a gigantic high school with a bunch of kids that was different. So yeah. But if you can go to like a bigger city for high school, I would recommend that. College for me, I went to a community college, Ratchet University. I've done a whole bunch of story times on that. Unfortunately, I met some really cool people in community college, but I think what it was because I worked there from like 7 in the morning, and then I had classes in between classes, and I would work again. I was there from like 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So everyone saw me, everyone talked to me. And unfortunately, the job that I had at that college, I had to talk to other people. I had to really engage with other people. And a lot of people were very rude, not really nice. And unfortunately, I wish if I could go back in time, I would have honestly quit that job and found something else to do. But at the time, I didn't know better. So if you are thinking about transitioning after high school, like I did, and you have, let's say, like you live with your family and you have to go to college, try to, you know, try to transition at a big college where it's not so many people, like a university or like a university or you know CSU or whatever, but a state college or a university. But if you what was I going to say? But if you have to transition out of community college, you know, at a small college, community college, then just go for classes, maybe get some tutoring help, and then leave. Because I think that's where I stayed from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everyone knew who I was. So, and everyone talked to amongst each other. Everyone talks. So just be watchful of that. Work wise, I've always worked with a bunch of women, so I've never really faced any discrimination towards other women. Um, I did face one, but she ended up quitting anyways, so I didn't really have to worry about her. But when you're working with a bunch of women and you're transitioning from male to female, just know that like everything is okay. I want to say like for me, I didn't really face any discrimination and stuff. So, but yeah, so that is all I'm going to conclude in this video. So if you like this video, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay magical. Mwah.